This next video clip we will call winter pruning. I've got my glasses on because we're going to talk about theory. In the autumn, all the little leaves fall off the tree and all the sap goes down and it's stored in the root system of the tree and in the trunk. All the sap, the lifeblood of the tree, is now in the dormant season down here somewhere. In the spring, the sap will rise and the buds will break. If we winter prune, the tree will grow more because the tree has to balance out the canopy with the root volume. They're about the same. The root is sucking up nutrients, the canopy is producing sugars to feed the tree at large. In general, they have to be balanced out. We winter prune our young trees to get them to grow and to grow in the right direction. In the video clip before, we established the basic scaffold, the basic shape of the tree, and now for the next 2 or 3 years we're not going to worry about concentrating on fruit production. Still go to Tesco's. We're going to concentrate on growing the tree into a nice shape. So it's now, shall we say, March, and we want this tree to be an open centred bush. If we cut our branches, say take a third off to an outward facing bud, ready? This next bud, the bud will now grow when the sap comes up. It will grow tend to grow in the direction it's pointed. So rather than growing up, this bud will grow out at an angle, opening up the centre of our open-centred bush tree.
What do you call that?
Give me a minute. This we call bench cutting. So for the first few years we will bench cut the tree so it goes out in a series of benches so that the whole thing opens up for 2 or 3 years. After a while, the fruit load on the tree will start, the weight of the fruit will start opening the tree out. So we're going to bench cut this tree here. Something like that. Anything growing into the canopy, rather than remove, if we just cut back to a couple of buds, that will probably that will be a little fruiting spur, I would imagine. It won't grow into the canopy anymore, and we might get a couple of early fruit on that, but it won't grow into the canopy. This lot growing up the middle, sorry, the cane's in the way, can you see that?
Your fingers in the way now.
This lot we would normally remove to make, then we would have 4 lovely spaced branches. Conventionally we would remove this middle piece now because this is growing upwards. We don't want that. But rather than do that in the conventional manner, what I do when I'm walking by, I just hack it without even looking at it hardly.
Why not?
And what that will give us is, and every now and again I'll walk past and give it some of that as well throughout the year, and that will give us a little pom-pom of leaves and branches and a little lump here. And what that will do, that little pom-pom of leaves and branches in the middle of this open-centred bush will cast shade on the 4 branches that we want, and that will encourage our open-centred bush to grow. After 2 or 3 years, we'll get rid of that altogether. We'll just chuck it, and you can see these branches, because of the shading of that little pom-pom I just hacked occasionally, will be nice nice angled branches and a nice spread. I mean, they're pretty well perfect, aren't they? Any small branches like this one, can you see that, Sarah?
Yeah.
That's got a fat bud on the end. That bud has plumped up. That's going to be a fruit bud. So we leave them. They're not going to grow or do anything. If it wasn't a fruit bud on it, and we didn't want that branch because it's underneath this one here, yeah, it'll be shaded out. If that was growing, we would get rid of it. But rather than get rid of it altogether, we do this. Can we look at this tree now? You can see this tree was growing very strongly, and I've removed several of the competing unwanted branches. Rather than cut them down to the bone like that to nothing, I've cut them back to a couple of buds, preferably downward facing. And these little branchlets, these little cut branches, they call stem builders. I don't know why, but if you have these, it gives you a much stronger stem, a much thicker trunk. I don't actually, despite wearing my
I
glasses...
was going to say, glasses aren't helping.
I know, you'd think they would. I need stronger magnification. Exactly why stem builders give you a better stem, a better trunk, I don't really know. I've never thought about it. You can see with this particular young tree, this branch must have been going out at an angle, and I've temporarily tied it up with a bit of string. A piece of inner tube, a piece of rubber is better. It doesn't cut into the tree if you forget about it. And that will pull that branch up so that they're all coming up about the same angle. I think that's it for winter pruning.
Okay.